E3 2013. See what I did there? Like E3 13. Super Mario 3D World, Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 8, and Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. Solid launch lineup. You may say, Kaz, sounds like that was the year Nintendo won. But, honestly, they didn't really show it off that well.
Smash?
All of it.
What? Okay.
That was
go through that list again. You went through it kind of fast.
I know, because there was so much.
Okay, go through it again.
That year,
Freeze. There was
that year. I know what you're saying. I have a plan. That year, it was the first year they ever did the Nintendo digital event, and I don't think they knew how to do it because like a month later, they did a Nintendo Direct where they showed off a huge bunch of levels in co-op with Super Mario 3D World. They showed off more mechanics and like behind the scenes and art design stuff of Link Between Worlds. Tropical Freeze came out later. They announced Cranky Kong at like a later Game Awards, and like it seemed like they had so much stuff that year. Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash. That year, you would think they would win because they had such a solid lineup. Mm-hmm. But all those games could have their own show. It seems like a brand new top-down Zelda. Whole show. Super Mario 3D World, whole show. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, maybe not, but they could have done a big focus on that. Mario Kart 8 could have been its own show, and then obviously Smash did get its own show.
Yeah, well.
So there's a balance here. We're looking at all these years.
Yeah.
We've looked at 2015, we've looked at 2014, we've looked at 2016, and now we're looking back in 2013. 2016 is just Zelda.
Yeah.
2015 was... basically,
are you trying to argue for another one single game for 2013?
No, I'm saying there's a balance here.
Yeah.
I'm saying 2014 was perfect, I think, and we say Nintendo won 2014.
Right.
Because they had a big focus on Smash. But they did have Splatoon for the people there to plant that seed, and they also had Amiibo and some Taka Zelda Wii U, like they had a little bit of stuff speckled out. Perfect year. E3 2015 was too divided. They gave equal attention to Star Fox, equal hype to Super Mario Maker. Was too conflicting, I think.
Well, they should have. Yeah.
2013 then was so many games. It kind of gets lost in the mumbo jumbo, and now I think 2016 is too few games with only having one big focus.
I don't know. I think that looking back on like 2013 compared to 2014, like I think 2014 was so good. I think 2013 was also super good, and it still felt great as a Nintendo fan. Like
I think the only reason you maybe think it's good is because you're forgetting that like at the time people hated 2013 E3.
Why?
Nintendo people did not like
Mario
Nintendo.
Kart 8 and 3D World. 3D World looked gorgeous.
People liked it.
My personal opinion.
Nintendo fans liked it. The rest of the world was like,
yeah, but I'm talking about as a Nintendo fan. 2013, I really liked because I thought 3D World looked great. I thought Mario Kart 8 looked great. A Link Between Worlds looked amazing. So there were some really solid games, and it wasn't maybe like they won, but it was like, all right, these are some really satisfying games. That's what I'm saying.
It's like they didn't win, and I'm trying to figure out why.
But then with 2015, I feel like Star Fox was a lackluster game that not a lot of people were that hyped for. We didn't see any of it. We didn't see any of it? They didn't show it. I'm pretty sure they showed trailers and stuff for it, didn't they?
From what I remember, it was just the blurry screen. Remember
in 2015?
Remember Miyamoto turned around and was like, "Oh hey."
No, 2015. It was like mostly they started off with the puppets, and it was.
Oh yeah, they did have the yep. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, and so they started off with one of their lackluster games in 2015.
Oh yeah.
Star Fox. They led off with Miyamoto's game, which I mean we love Star Fox, but even at the time, like to lead off with that, and I think it was a combination of both. Star Fox leading off with a game that critically, like, for a mass reception, like, despite maybe us being like, this is probably a really cool game, I just played Star Fox 64 3D, so I was, like, pretty hyped for it and stuff. But mass, like, everybody else was like, this looks like a GameCube game. Even
especially along, like, that year was the year of Star Wars Battlefront.
Even a lot of hardcore Nintendo fans were like, I really can't get into this. And that's what they launched with. And then also, I feel like Super Mario Maker, despite it being one of the greatest games of all time. I feel like there was a bit of it's not new enough in a way. It's like it's very cool. It's very brilliant. It's like kind of it's game changing in a lot of ways. Brilliant, but it's also not like something so new. It's like something to really buzz about in like a way of it's like. Because we've seen Super Mario, the skin of it. We've seen Super Mario World. We've seen Super Mario 3. We've seen New Super Mario Bros. We've seen all these styles. We've seen like...
And the other big problem was that we had known Mario Maker.
Yeah.
And they didn't really realize
Both games we'd known. And
they also, like with Mario Maker, they had shown a lot of it and they didn't realize how big it was going to be. And then with E3 2015, I think they realized it could be big, but they still didn't know...
They should have led with it, I think.
But they didn't. Yeah, it seems like they didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
Like they were still doubting it.
And then I think they maybe should have gone into the puppets maybe for the ending or something to send it off.
It seems like until the release,
they would have gone
Super
into
Mario
the Mario Maker experience, but still had Star Fox like a portion of it, maybe at the end, but gone into it of like building like some sort of crazy thing for that. I think maybe they put too much faith in Star Fox, and they had no idea really what they had that year. But I feel like leading from like 2013 to 2014, everything was pretty much going. It was going a lot better for Nintendo compared to, as we'll see maybe in the previous years with like Zombie U and stuff.
Because the thing I'm saying about 2013 is just the fact that
it was when it was finally, we were even saying 2013, and this is kind of finally when the Wii U is like 3D
true.
World came out. It was
but that's
like,
the thing is though, once again, I think. Maybe you're forgetting the fact that at E3, I mean, cause I remember that direct later that month or like a month later, and everyone was like, "Where was this? Like, where was this at E3?" Because it was like a month later. They were like, "Here's more details, more levels, more characters, Rosalina, yada yada yada. Here's this with Mario Kart. Here's some extra levels. Here's this thing. Oh, by the way, here's the new Cranky Kong. By the way, here's this with Link." And it was just like. Whoa, what? Like, why was this not E3? And it seemed like at E3, they did the digital event. They played through each one a couple times, and it was just very much so like, you guys need a stage presence. And then it just seemed like the E3 that year seems kind of bland. And the reason I remember like it fondly, I think, is just because of that, because of the context of that direct a month later.
Yeah.
But
also, I think, was that not like when did they exactly start doing their directs? When was like the year that the first direct came out? Because was that
it was 2013, I think.
Because I was thinking maybe that was still when people were adjusting a bit to the new format of them having directs and still not like why'd you wait for this? And then now in 2016 we kind of more understand and more people are speculating that they'll probably just do a direct a month later. Like that's kind of maybe where this whole idea that they're going to do that originated, is because of them doing that in 2013.
Yeah. And I think
and that's just kind of the route they've gone ever since almost.
I think the ideal format for Nintendo at E3 is the 2014 model. Yeah. Start off with a direct to showcase what games you're going to have them be played at the Treehouse live, demonstrated. Have if you want to tune into IGN live, you have that. If you want to tune into GameSpot live, you have that. If you want to watch from directly with Nintendo, you have Treehouse live. You see the games that you just got hyped about, or there's some that are still waiting on, and then you have at night the Invitational. That's the true stage event that everyone's hyped for. I think that's the perfect model. And they kind of did it with E3 2015 with the Nintendo World Championships, but it was just not, as we've talked about, as clear with their direction that they wanted to go.
Right.